Hello, everybody, and welcome into another exciting episode of Bloody Good Horror. My name's Eric, and I'll be your host for this evening, where we will be reviewing A24's Undertone. It's a horror movie for your ears. Joining me tonight, first up from Manhattan, New York City, please welcome John to the show.
Podcasting horror.
That's right.
Finally.
Sure, yes. Next up, from Indiana, please welcome Casey to the show.
Hello.
And last up tonight, from the mean streets of Oakland, California, please welcome Rachel to the show.
You know that's right. Serial killer still on the loose.
You know what's not for the not for your ears, John? Manhattan. Terrible on the ears. Not great for the nose either, if I'm being honest. It's like a cacophony of sounds and smells, you know?
How about the taste?
Fine on the nose.
Should we do them all?
I don't know. I can't
Walking
speak
around
on
licking
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
It has a certain umami flavor to it in New York City.
That's right. All right, let's get into it here. Let's talk about Undertone.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. From the prime time. Main feature.
John, I had the unfortunate displeasure during my Undertone screening of having like one of the worst theater patrons of all time. Him and his wife were sitting in the front row, or like near the front row. There were 6 people in this theater.
This was Haunted Mall, you said. You had texted us.
Haunted Mall, of
situation.
course. 6 people in this theater, 2 ahead of me, 2 behind me, and it was like a smaller like adjunct theater that's sort of like, so it's tiny to begin with. So we're not more than like 6 feet from each other, 8 feet. Him and his wife are talking loudly the whole time, which, like, as you guys can imagine, you've seen this movie. It's like the audio part's important. She is repeatedly snapping gum every 10 to 15 seconds or more.
Oh my God. You would have to bail me out. I would be
They are
in
being so
prison.
loud. He is like an enormous gentleman in all the ways, like tall, like both directions. Like just, he's like an enormous human being, right? At some point, a teenager who's with his parent or something in the back row goes down and says something like, "Are you chewing gum?" to the woman. This is a teenager. He was like, "Could you please stop?" John,
Our hero.
it's
Yeah,
very
actually.
clear these people, no one has ever pointed out to these people how obnoxious they were, because they just got, or they just don't fucking care. They got more obnoxious and like very indignant about it. He got up and like huffed and puffed out to go to the bathroom and like slammed the door on the way out. And then he came back in and he sat down and threw his whole body back into the chair, and like the whole row of chairs. I was like, oh God, I wanted so badly to see this guy break these chairs. It legitimately would have been the best day of my life.
And this is happening like during the movie.
During the whole film. It was for the duration, basically.
Jesus.
10 minutes after he throws himself in the chair, he audibly farts. Like the loudest fart I've ever heard in a theater. Including my own.
What? Holy shit.
Dude,
Are they shooting a candid camera series?
I'm just saying,
inside
like,
the
have-
Haunted Mall?
all I'm saying is this. Have you ever been out in public around like a person like this and like you just know who they voted for? Have you ever had that experience? Like absolutely no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
3
that
times,
part was
I'm
MAGA
sure.
coded.
You're talking about Kathy Hochul? Is that
Their mom Donnie voted.
their mom, Donnie voters? Yeah. There you go.
Those situations are why I'm married to Colleen, because I'm not going to tell the waiter my order's not right. I need somebody else to do it for me.
No, I'll be listen. I don't say shit to people in theaters anymore because people have lost their ever loving minds.
Okay.
And I don't trust.
That's what I'm
anyone.
saying. Like the teenager is like the hero.
I
of the
know.
story
It's
for
not
at least
safe.
trying.
These people are unhinged now and unleashed in a way. Like it's not safe to interact with
They
them,
could break
so,
a
like-
chair in a theater. You never know.
Oh God, it would have
Sitting
been so
down.
delicious to just watch them flip backwards.
No, so it's funny. I had not the worst I've ever experienced, but like definitely on the stronger end of bad Saturday night theater. Similar, like probably 40 seats tops in the room they had us in, and it was a couple, and they were like, I think just super high, and so she was like talking the whole time,
Oh,
and
no.
not super loud, but they were sitting like, it's one of the smaller theaters. They're not that far away, so even if you can't hear what they're saying, you can hear they're talking. And it was not great. And similarly, like, I'm not confronting people, like, for the same reason you don't want to confront people. Like, I'm just not getting into a fight while I'm trying to
Yeah.
watch a movie.
Yeah.
So
The possible
not
ways
great.
it could go well don't outweigh all of the ways it could go bad.
Yeah,
No,
last
exactly.
time I asked
Oh,
someone to turn
oh,
their
thanks.
flashlight off in the theater, I almost got beat up.
Flashlight?
well, if they were they like
Flash.
looking,
Light.
Were they doing a like bunny rabbit thing on the wall?
they were like
What were they
looking
doing
for
to
the
the
Essentially,
seat, I
flashlight?
assume.
well, they walked in with a flashlight late, like 20 minutes into the monkey. I'm like,
To find a
"All right."
seat 20 minutes into the bunker.
Which I was like annoying, but it's fine. But then they kept turning it on to like look at whatever they had in their bags, and like they were all talking, and I was just like, "Can you please turn the light off?" And then she wanted to go outside.
Cash me outside kind of
I
vibe.
was like, I'm old, decrepit. I cannot be fighting in these streets.
I love the
anymore.
idea of just going to the monkey and you miss like the most important story part and just like leaning over really loudly, being like,
100%.
"What's the deal with the monkey?" Like,
That's kind of what was happening.
incredible. All right, John. What a lovely auditory experience I had. Let's move on here. Please bring us the word of the day.
Eric, today's word. We had 2 submissions, and I picked my favorite, and it is backmasking.
Ooh.
Backmasking. BACKMASKING. Backmasking.
It has nothing to do with my back hair.
Well, it's got a different name for it.
That's how you put the masking tape on and then
Exactly.
take it off. Yeah.
The encoding of audio materials, such as words conveying a secret message, on a recording in such a way that they can only be heard and understood when the recording is played backwards. First known use, according to Merriam-Webster, first known use 1982, which I was surprised because, this was a thing that was at least alleged to have happened in the 60s and 70s. Famous albums. It turned everybody into Satanists for a little while, I think. But plays a non, or a important role in this here film, The Undertone.
Love it, John. Tell me about Undertone.
Yeah, so I do feel like I should give like a bit of a caveat up front, or not a caveat, but like I think I mentioned to you guys maybe at some point, but I've like met some of the people who are involved in The Undertone. Got to see a festival of the film, and so I'm a little maybe biased.
John
but we
Schnars continues to have more integrity than the Supreme Court of the United States.
Well, no, I mean, look, I gotta announce my priors. But this is I believe it's directorial debut. I should have looked this up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Ian Tewison, who both wrote and directed. It stars effectively one person. Her name is Nina Kiri. She plays Evie in the film. Evie is a podcaster, so already just one of our favorite people. She has moved back into her mother's house because her mom is dying, is on hospice. And so she's sort of there to take care of her. Evie is a independent journalist. She like works on this podcast. It's a true crime, I believe it's a true. Do they give the name of the show is The Undertone, right?
So the
Yeah.
idea is that I don't know if it's true crime as much as they explore sort of like
Yeah.
supernatural stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like a Mulder and Scully kind of vibe. Like she
Yeah.
plays the character kind of like a skeptic.
Well, exactly. She's the skeptic, and her partner, who we never meet, but because she's always on the phone with him. His name's Justin. He, so they solicit stories, and they get people who call in and tell stories, and they sort of like interact with them. And the setup for the film is that someone sends them 10 recordings in sort of like a zip file, And I think the email is from like an address. It's like, you know, one of these sort of, it looks fake, so, you know, and all this, and doesn't the email even say like don't listen to these or something like that, or like play at your own risk kind of thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's the structure of the film is they start recording. They're like, sit down, let's record an episode. And they listen to the first recording, they listen to the second recording. And they're sort of, the film is like them working their way through these, but also as they do, spookiness ensues, especially for Evie.
Love it. Rachel, what you got?
So, like John, I actually saw this a while back as well. I saw it when it premiered at Fantastic Fest. I was covering the festival remotely, and oftentimes when you're doing like a festival coverage remotely, it's sort of suboptimal, right? Because you're watching it on your computer. It's not the same thing as being in theater and being with the crowd. But I honestly think that in this case, I was lucky to have seen it the way I did, because I was by myself in a dark room with headphones on, and this thing lends itself to really being ingested in that way, I think. I saw it again this time at a theater, and well, some of the magic is still definitely there. It wasn't the bone-chilling experience that I had the first time I watched it. I still think it mostly worked, though. This, especially when it's getting into, I don't know how much of this, you didn't really touch that much on it, but a big part of this is about like the difficulty of caregiving and the dynamics between losing a parent who's like a child losing a parent while caregiving for them. And I know that this is like a deeply personal film to the director who shot this in his family home where he had taken care of his elderly parents. And I think that experience really resonates through the film. Like, you get the sense of the grind, the sadness, the frustration, and the like palpable guilt. So in that way, I thought it was still really effective, like in a narrative sort of storytelling perspective. I also think that the use of audio as the like vehicle for the horror is interesting, because it forces you to engage in a totally different way. You're not like just watching the screen, you're like really tapped in and listening. So when those scary moments hit, the jump scares hit a little bit harder, because your brain is already like very much trying to catch every little nuance of what you're hearing. And children's songs are just creepy. They're just creepy. I think that this movie is proving to be pretty divisive, and I get it, because I think it's one of those things that either works for you or it doesn't. Like, there's not really a lot of middle ground on this. And I think, you know, it's an A24 film that feels like exactly the same kind of criticism we always get for those movies, so I'm not that surprised by it. There's other criticism being lobbed at it around it's sort of like unintentional messages, like sort of, it's being interpreted as like an anti-abortion film. Yeah. And
all right, we might need to like come back to that like, after we get
sure, we can totally talk about that.
No, I'm curious now.
Well, so the first time I saw it, I didn't really interpret it that way. The second time I did, I was like, wait, what is happening? And so I'm wondering how much of this is about reshoots and like further things that were added. I can't quite remember. But I went, and that's when I started researching the background of the film. And I think it's a case where like the director is using the motherhood metaphor for some about like meaning to be about like caregiving and like the loss of the safety net of a mother, and has like misread the cultural milieu and accidentally stepped into some things using those metaphors in a way that he didn't intend. So I don't think that criticism is super fair. I don't know. Overall, it's not perfect, but I did enjoy myself. I think it's pretty scary in parts, and it's a fresh take on horror. So yeah, I think I had a good time with it.
Should we call on Casey, or you can just go?
Sorry, I was muted. Casey.
So, first off, I've got a fundamental problem with the premise of this movie, and it's all due to my profession. Don't open strange emails with the weird attachments, especially if the name's all gibberish. Come on. This would have never happened to me.
It is a big red flag.
This would have never happened to me. No, but beyond that, I like this movie for what it was trying to do. It didn't fully hit for me. To me, by the end of it, it got a little muddled for me on what the message was and what we're going on as we're bouncing back between kind of the background of the entity that's behind some of this stuff and the stories going into it, and then the comparison to the carrying of over the dying mother and stuff like that. To me, that got a little muddled, so the ending wasn't as clear to me as I would have liked. But I appreciate what they're doing here. The use of audio here is really neat. It is a slow and kind of sleepy movie. Which is fine. That's not a problem. The pacing for it was perfectly fine, and the performance by our one actress was fine too. And I thought that was interesting the way they were digging into the old songs and whatnot. But it is a movie you kind of got to be like any A24 movie. You kind of got to be in the mood for that kind of sleepy movie for it to really hit. But it's an interesting fact because my takeaway too, from what Rachel said, I would have preferred this movie at home with my headphones on because I think it would have been a whole lot better of an experience. Because it's not the kind of movie that's necessarily going to be fun in a big crowded theater to me. And
Well,
I'm
especially
also
if the crowd is like, snapping gum.
For the record,
Yeah.
the guy who
Stoned. Or
farted,
farting.
got up. The guy who
Aggressively
farted got up and said it was the worst movie he'd ever seen for whatever that opinion is.
You're like, oh, thank God, we were dying to
You
hear
ever
what
notice
thought.
that though? It's always the obnoxious people that are like, "Well, that was just terrible." I'm like, "No, you're the worst thing in
Yeah.
this room.
but
You're the worst thing that happened." Just so you understand.
Yeah.
But I think that really would. I think the headphones would have really added to this, especially with all the audio stuff they're doing in here. It would have made it even cooler. I kind of want to rewatch it in that kind of scenario at some point just to see if it changes things up. I did like the story they were building here, and I had no problems with the fact that we only had the one actress on screen the entire time, and we were getting everything else from the side off screen. It all worked for me in, as far as the mechanics and putting it together. So overall, yeah, I enjoyed this movie for what it was, but it didn't blow me away. It was a good sit. I'll fall back on that one. And then just to throw my own conspiracy in here with these music signs and stuff, you guys realize that Abazoo fits in really well with Abba's Waterloo. And
Yeah.
I think we need to investigate.
I thought you were going to record it for us. And
No. I tried singing it, but Colleen told me to shut up. So,
I do love Waterloo. It's one of my favorite Abbott
oh
tracks.
yeah.
John,
Yeah, I mean, I really like this movie. I think it's like incredible in terms of what the director is able to pull off. I mean, the budget that's reported is 500,000. Like,
that's
You know.
that's 1980s B movie budget
yeah, no, and like
Yeah.
when
it
they
is-
were shooting
it's-
on film.
I think the other thing that's so remarkable is like how much emotion and how scary he is able to make this thing. It has one character in the whole movie. I mean, not one character. Sorry, it's not really one character, but there is one performer
One
on screen.
moving person on screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty
You've
much
got the
entire
mom.
film.
I guess there's like the nurse who's there for like a 1 sec. I can't remember. Do we see the nurse? Or we just hear the nurse's voice.
Just see
but-
the nurse's voice,
I think I think we just hear.
we just
Yeah,
see her and
she's
her
like-
mom. That's it.
Yeah. So, I just think it's like a really, kind of incredible thing to have pulled off. It's like incredible to even attempt, and then that it works, and then it works at the level that it works, I think is really impressive. I did have the same experience as Rachel and see it the first time with my headphones on in a dark room. And
I'll be honest, I thought it played great in the theater. I mean, I take the point, but
It rules
seeing the theater
on-
didn't hurt it for me.
No, look, if you have a good audio experience in a theater, it's going to hit fucking great. I just didn't, like, because of the people talking, like,
Snacking.
it hit a little harder for me with the headphones on because the sound design is incredible and it is really important to the scares in a lot of these situations. But yeah, I think I mean, Eric, you're right. Like, it looks great on screen. But if you can get to one of the like Dolby theater, some of the theaters are like, we'll blow your eardrums out kind of theaters. Like, I would, if I had
Well,
better options.
I assure
would've
you
tried
that's
that.
not happening at the Haunted Mall. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. So it's a recommend for me. But
I thought this movie was absolutely fantastic.
Yay!
I think
fun.
from a pure mood and scares perspective, I haven't been this creeped out by a movie since like Long Legs. So I thought it was tremendously effective in what it was trying to do. I would be so bold as to say I could have taken it, although I want to get to this. I have some thoughts about the podcast production.
Like fewer
However,
farts in the movie.
I could have taken a movie that was like 80% them recording that podcast. That's how good those scenes are. And if anything, like the need to make it a kind of grief movie, A24 grief movie, maybe even holds it back in some ways. However, there is like there is a it does add an having a sort of person, a kind of near death comatose person in that house in these dark space, like you're almost kind of always looking over your shoulder in a weird way. It adds a presence to that house with her that adds tension to those scenes. And so I do understand like, and of course, like thematically it's important, the whole piece. My only real criticism of it is like from a plot standpoint, it doesn't, there's a lot of threads that don't seem to come together in a super cohesive way. I do always try to check myself because like, this abortion thing, Rachel, I didn't pick that up at all. However, like I try to check myself and to not always expect for a film to have a very clear moral stance on what they're presenting to me, because I think that that's a problem with like modern film criticism in a lot of ways. But even beyond that, I just think like the threads of this demon and the emails and the mom, it's like, I don't see how it all comes together in the end, personally. However, like it didn't super hurt the experience for me because it really is just like, it's a wonderful experience from the perspective of like mood and atmosphere and scares. And like, if you at all appreciate low budget indie cinema, like seeing what they did here, I mean, this really is like, God bless A24 for just taking swings like this. And also like, they have this fascinating way of putting movies out into theaters that make a trailer good enough to get some normies in, but a movie that they would never be happy with. And like, I say this going all the way back to like Midsummer. I always remember like those ladies next to me in Midsummer who just went because they loved, oh no, I'm sorry, not Midsummer.
Hereditary?
Yes, that wasn't A24 though, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They love that actress. What's her name?
Tony Collette.
Yeah,
Tony
they
Collette,
went
yeah.
because
The
they were
divine
Tony
Tony
Collette fans.
Collette.
And I just for 2 hours listened to them spin out while they were watching Hereditary. But that's the beauty of A24. And
classic scenes.
they keep taking these swings, and it's like, as long as the budget's low enough and you get a certain percentage of normies in the door, and then the weirdos like us, it seems like there's something working for them there.
Oh, when it works, man, it really works.
So
yeah.
just bless them, and I really appreciate what they're doing. And like, there's so much ingenuity and creativity packed into this film, while also like, you know, using the podcast as a framing mechanism, which is like it's weird. Those kind of podcasts, even the true crime ones, it's sort of a way that it's a modern way that people are ingesting horror without really thinking about what they're doing. And so this is to have a film then pull those things into it to use structurally here and done this well is like pretty interesting, seeing it kind of come back full circle.
So I have a couple audio engineering style questions that because I am curious for your view on how the like audio stuff,
Sure.
like not how it sounds, because I think it sounds great. It's more like when they're using the like whatever the UI of this. Is there actually ever a button where you can press reverse and it like you highlight a thing and it plays it backwards? Really?
Yes. It's a
I
single
was
button.
like, that can't be real.
Playing something backwards in Audition is like a single button press.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've never had a chance in 20 years in media to do that.
Well, that's I was like.
The only thing that ever happens is I hit it
existed.
accidentally, and I'm like, God, and then I just like have to stop it. But no, like, okay, so from a hardware perspective, impeccable. Like she literally has the same Scarlett audio interface that I use that is really big amongst like amateur audio enthusiasts because it costs like $250 or like $200 to buy. So, and like the editing interface was really great. The headphones, the mic, Chef's kiss.
Wow,
I do
okay.
think out of necessity, this film does a thing that many of these movies do, which is like propose that this type of narrative podcasting happens spontaneously. Like you hit record
Yeah,
and start
there's no
talking,
script.
and it's a perfect fucking thing that happens. And like, oh, we're discovering this and this is happening. I assure you, those things are so deeply pre-produced, planned out, and then edited after the fact. That shit is not oftentimes sounds off the cuff, but it is not. I can say this as a person who's like watched teams try to do this and run into like how difficult it is to actually make it sound authentic. You know what I mean? But I think that they have to do that for the movie. I was laughing though, like they're trying to record one episode throughout the entirety of this movie, and after the fourth botched or not botched, but like she
I
keeps
thought they
having
were
to bail on
breaking it
the
up into
recording.
multiple episodes.
No.
No, she
It's
said
one
they were doing
episode.
two.
It's one.
yeah.
Well, yeah. At some point, they're like, okay, we're breaking it apart.
We'll
too.
break it into two.
But the
yeah.
first episode was at least those first 3 or 4 recordings.
Yeah.
And after like the third one of her like getting scared, having to stop, I just started laughing to myself because I'm like, I just picture this dude being like, "Bitch, we gotta put this fucking episode out." Like, holy shit! Have you heard of of a release cadence here?
Yeah.
So that made me laugh. No, but like
They work a
I
couple
really,
weeks ahead.
I appreciated the care put into the technical side of it. I only have one technical beef, and that is that at the very end, they are both scrambling and running around their homes. And now they have wireless headphones on, right? So like, of course they can hear each other. Great. But they're not in front of their mics when they're walking around that house, and they're both hearing each other clear as day. And that's the only thing I think that they had to actually fudge just in order for that to make sense. But here's what I would suggest. If you recall, John,
Undertone
the
2. Let's take notes.
at the end of the Blair Witch Project, okay, there's 2 cameras being used in the Blair Witch Project. One is a 16 millimeter camera with no sound. The other is a high 8 video camera with sound. And so at the end of the film, when they're both in the house, one of them is in the attic and one of them is downstairs. But when they cut to the POV of the 16 millimeter camera, the audio you hear is coming from the high 8 in the other end of the house. And it creates this actually really creepy distance from what you're seeing. Like that was like they stayed authentic to it and it's effective. So like I think they could have done that here, like having her sort of sound like she's traveling from
Yeah,
the
like
mic.
way further away from the
But
mic.
I think they chose instead to keep it full. Whatever. No nerd. I'm the only nerd who's gonna like think of that, but
Yeah.
that's where
You
my
know-
head was at during the finale.
You know what my beef was with their setup is I too used the default iPhone ringtone, and so every time that phone went off, it was like, oh god.
I too
Yeah.
get startled when people call me, so I get it.
Yeah.
I'm always curious, like, because I would have thought you couldn't use that without licensing it from Apple, but maybe Apple
It was.
doesn't
It
own
wasn't the ringtone. You didn't catch that? It was a sound alike.
Oh, was
Oh,
it?
was it?
It was like 70% of the notes were the same. Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes more sense.
That's funny.
No one wants to pay Apple any more money.
So like
then
Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah. That itty bitty change. I think this is great.
No, I was.
really do.
I had no idea where any of you were gonna land. So I was,
Even through the
you know.
farting and
I was
the
gonna. You were
gum
telling us the
snapping,
story, and I'm like,
I
oh,
had a
boy,
grand old time.
He had a rough time with this. But... oh man,
I
Oh,
really
fun
needed a
times.
win after Strangers and whatever the hell we did the week before Strangers. Scream 7. I needed a win.
Yeah. So, John, I want to
Back
ask
to
you.
abortion.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. What do you want to? What do you
No,
want to
what
say?
were you gonna ask? What were you gonna
Are
ask?
you pro or against?
People can do what
I
they
mean,
want.
I feel like there's some pretty, like, I think there's pretty obvious ways that you could interpret this as an anti-abortion film, considering that it's about a woman. Part of, like, one of the main sort of through lines of this film is her deciding whether or not she's going to terminate a pregnancy while dealing with a demon that makes women kill their babies. You know what I mean? And then they use imagery in one of them of somebody using, spoilers for folks, of someone using a sack to like beat a baby to death. And that's like something that is like used in like anti-abortion propaganda. So like there are clear sort of places where people could interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's where my sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, go. You go.
I was gonna say that's where I got muddled at the end because I picked up on those too, especially when she drank that big ass coffee mug full of Irish whiskey after she got the call from the doctor. But I picked up on that too. So then the stuff when she was going back to caring for her mother, who is in the process of passing away, and the things that happen at the end of this movie, that's where I'm like, okay, well, what? That's why the ending didn't land for me, because I'm like, well, which way are we going here?
Right. And I don't think it's actually his intention. Like, it's about the security of motherhood and losing that as your parents age and like become infirm. But it, like I said, I think he accidentally stepped into something a totally different topic. And it is muddled. It's unclear, but I think you can, if you want to see that, it's there.
I think there's a few too many threads going as well, which sort of gives people kind of more rope to start tying things. Like the thing with the viral video and the face, like it's creepy, but like, what does it have to do with the rest of it? You know what I mean? Like, there's just some things here and there that I feel like was a little bit more than they needed.
Rachel, so one of the things, and not to like, we don't need to spend too much, but like, I felt like, and this kind of ties to the abortion piece, I felt like the boyfriend, or the like boyfriend that we never see, was like, there was like at least a little more boyfriend the first time I saw it. And because as Eric is saying, there are a lot of threads, and I did wonder if it had, like, if I was misremembering it, or if he had been de-emphasized.
I think so. What's interesting is I do think that plot line got trimmed down, and then the dynamic between her and the host is very different. I felt it was a lot warmer in this version. Yeah. The other thing is
they totally recast the host.
Yeah,
was recast.
And I think
oh,
of the changes,
voice on the other side.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite of the changes, because I do think that they seem sort of adversarial in the first one, and I'm like, these two seem like they're friends.
It was like the first time through, it's almost more like a professor and like grad student relationship.
Interesting.
That's
fascinating. So they probably shot it that way the first time, and then like just totally redubbed all his lines.
Yeah, they did reshoots after A24 came.
I feel like they also got rid of my favorite sequence. Like there was a lot more of the camera. Maybe I'm misremembering this, but I recall the camera really kind of going off on its own a lot more in the original cut, and they trimmed a lot of that back. And I actually am disappointed. Like I missed it in this version, because it made the house feel a lot more haunted. It made her feel more vulnerable, and there was like a more voyeuristic perspective in this film. So like and as her mental state kind of degraded, it got wilder, it got looser, it got away from her more. Like there were Dutch angles and like lots of things happening with the camera work that I feel like got smoothed out in this. But I don't know if I also watched this almost a year ago. So
yeah.
Is that your recollection as well?
I remember the wandering camera bit.
Yeah.
You know, it does. I mean, it's the same movie. It like mostly follows the same. Like it does get crazier here too, but it is, I think, more tight on her. Yeah, but the boyfriend. But I do think that partially maybe why I missed some of the, because you're right. The abortion stuff is, I guess, the pregnancy piece is there in both films, but like because the boyfriend is, again, at least I remember him being more present. And like that, their fraying relationship being a bigger piece of it.
Yeah, he was like a little bit more worthless.
Well, and so when you make him, when he goes away in this, you do just focus on her and the pregnancy.
He still reads pretty worthless, for the record.
Well, no,
for sure. But what it is that leaves her alone with these choices about terminating her pregnancy, as her mother's dying, as a baby killing demon is insinuating itself into her, essentially, haunting her and telling her all of these horror stories of other dead babies. Like it's kind of hard. It's harder for me not to draw those parallels, and I was relieved that wasn't the case, because I want to like this movie, but it's definitely there.
That's interesting, because, to be honest, I kind of glossed over the boyfriend parts, what little there were, and by the end of the movie, I had kind of forgotten about him, and I was thinking that the host was possibly the boyfriend, and I wasn't clear.
Oh.
Yeah, I think from what I remember, he lives like very far away. Like they're not.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
it's like a BGH recording situation.
Yeah, no, because they're in different time zones.
Yeah.
Because he remarks at one point his time syncs with hers. It's like during the finale, I think.
Yeah, and she's always recording at 3 a.m, which is the other thing that like lends this to like such a like off kilter. I can't imagine drinking hard alcohol at 3 a.m.
We record this at 8 p.m. and I want to die by the time it's over.
Half the time we almost don't make it to the end.
I did think this scene where she kind of admits to feeling a guilt about kind of being responsible for her mother's condition was really powerful. But again, that's where I would say, like, but what is the thread I'm hanging on to? Like, what's the through line through all of this? You know what I mean? But I did think that sequence was pretty powerful.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just like at the right age where like so many of my friends either are going through or have recently gone through, or like even my parents, you know, like that all of that stuff, that dread, that those complicated feelings of
Yeah, it's real sandwich generation kind of stuff.
yeah, we're and I think that it effectively mines that kind of emotional anxiety and horror. Also, I think it does. The other thing we didn't really talk about is just sort of the fear of the deep dark web and what's out there and how easily you can like kind of accidentally get in over your head and see things and hear things you can't unsee or unhear.
That's why you don't.
I keep Casey
That's why you
around.
don't open attachments.
Do you know what it reminded me of, though? It reminded me of a quainter day on the web where stuff like creepypastas were really big, and you could like get into something like that and sort of feel creeped out and kind of go down a deep dive that was like fun.
Yeah.
And didn't take you to like QAnon or something. You know what I mean? Like when we could just have fun with these things, and it wasn't just like awful like everything is now. Like it had a real creepypasta kind of vibe to it in a way I really enjoyed. Like it made me reminisce on like Marble Hornets, or like the one that Casey and I always talk about, Ted the Caver, which was my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You
know,
know,
like-
this is you guys will have to tell me about this after the
It
show.
harkened me back to a simpler time.
Yeah.
It's funny though talking about that, because my takeaway from this, and I texted Rachel after I saw this earlier. To me, this feels like a modern take on The Ring.
Yes,
You
yes.
take out
totally,
those-
but and then you get
You
that
take
vibe
out
from
the 7
tape.
days, yeah.
And like that
You stumble across something weird on the internet, and then within 7 days,
It's also
Abzu's
very
going to show up.
It's also very Session 9, you know? Like
Yeah.
I think maybe this is just a form, because we're all
Interesting.
naming movies that I really like, where they're structured around the slow release of this information. Yeah.
By the way, Session 9, top 5 for me.
I was going to
it's
say that's like an
incredible,
Eric
incredible
all-timer.
film. I
Yeah,
love
and
that
I'm not
movie.
knocking it for being like a modern take
No,
of
no,
The
no,
Ring. I'm
no.
down for it.
Yeah. I'm just
Well,
saying,
no, I
like,
mean, I
it's
think
a
it's
formula
been
that works.
It's been more. It's also been more than long enough to like
Yeah.
pay homage to things like that. It's been 20
But
years.
instead of the VHS tape, you're getting
25
weird email
years.
attachments.
Yeah.
25 years. Didn't the Ring remake come out in 2001?
Yeah.
How dare
or
you.
Maybe 2. But yeah.
Yeah, 02. Yeah, that sounds right.
Goddamn.
All right. Would you recommend this, or Rachel?
Yes, especially when it comes out on digital.
Casey?
Yeah, I'd say watch it at home with your headphones on.
And not because it's not worth seeing in a theater, just because it's really fun with headphones.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
I say see it in the theater and then see it at home.
Okay, there
I
you go.
also say see in the theater because we need to encourage people to make more stuff like this and not
Fair.
fucking The Strangers Chapter 3. So, all right. 4
All
thumbs
things for all
up.
people. Yeah.
4 thumbs up from the BGH
Yeah.
crew. Let's take a quick break and do some fan mail. Oh, wrong music. That's fine.
Oops.
Send feedback to info@bloodygoodhorror.com or on Twitter using hashtag AskPGH. Join Patreon to get back episodes and much more. Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror.
Jace says, John just realized Eric wears glasses in real time. If you want to comment live on the show, patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror. Our longtime friend Aussie Andy says Eric has the best movie stories. or the worst stories. I think they just follow me. I mean, I mentioned Long Legs. That I basically had a panic attack in that movie theater because it was full, and I was like, oh. Blob Nelson, I don't mind being the bald guy with the giant beard who whispers menacingly for someone to shut the fuck up at the movies.
Man, come with me to the movies, Blob. I'll buy your ticket.
There was a time and day where I would have done that, and I did.
I remember a very upsetting story about you shushing someone in a theater once.
During Cabin Fever, I stood up and turned around and told some people to shut the fuck up, like loudly. It was not whispered.
I'm kind of like
I had anticipated that movie, John. I was excited for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Rightfully so.
I'm kind of like Blob, especially now that I got the long hair. I really just have to kind of stand up and look at them, and they'll usually shut up.
Renee says, "Man, I hope the Haunted Mall turns out to have been a hidden camera show punking Eric this whole time."
Yeah.
It's punking the whole greater capital region.
Yeah. Even better, it's produced by John in the horror section.
Oh, that would've been-
Jay says,
That's a good
Led
idea.
Zeppelin has been backmasking their demon music back in the 60s.
Hey.
Anybody ever done the whole Dark Side of the Moon thing?
I mean, you mean like with the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, then yes. I didn't know if you meant backmasking.
Oh, okay, I guess that's different technically. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's just plain and normal.
You're right. Major end of the year-end list.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is
Yeah,
my
we haven't
number-
had an entry in a while.
This is my number
Stranger
one horror
3 didn't
film.
make it on there? Oh.
My number one horror film of the year. So right now I got Undertone, Send Help, and Primate. I would have put Predator on there, but apparently it came out last year. So
Yeah.
It came
Yeah.
out like November.
This is Eric's number one for the year, but it's also audio production porn for Eric.
sure,
That's true.
it's rare that they do those things right.
Oh,
Yeah, but like
I
it's
was
also
nervous you were going to come in
scary.
and just be like, I can't believe they did this
No.
audio
yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah. Casey, what do we got on the threads while I check email?
We got a couple out there. Let's see here. I can't figure out how to minimize my StreamYard screen because my mouse is not cooperating. There we go. We got a couple out here tonight. Our first one comes from our buddy Popcorn.Designs. How long does it take you all to get into character for each episode? It must take a lot of mental fortitude for Eric to stay in his curmudgeonly old man persona.
Wouldn't
yeah.
that be funny if you were just a ray of freaking sunshine, happy-go-lucky, and then you turn on the mic?
I'm not, first of all. And second of all, it's instantaneous. And anyone who watches the pre-show can attest to that because I could be completely dead and then just hit record and like the music hits and we go. But we've done this for almost 20 years. So like, it's not hard. People meet me in real life and they're like, oh, you're not as much of an asshole as I thought you were.
Get out
So
they
it
don't
is a
say
character. It is a character. John, multiple people have said that to me.
It's funny though too because after 20 years, Eric and I are starting to like meet in the middle in our perspectives. Because like a perfect example was the last Horror Hound when we were all in Cincinnati and we were hanging out at the brewery afterwards. And finally, Eric and I looked at each other and I was like, "You ready to go back to the hotel?" And he's like, "Yes, thank God."
"Oh,
I'm like,
God,
"Let's do it." All right, our other question, a little bit of a thinker, comes from our buddy Metal Prof. Do all five senses each have at least one associated horror movie? There are movies centered on hearing and certainly sight, but what about taste, touch, or smell? There is that monstered for smell, I think.
Monster, sure, that's a good one. What about that movie with Sebastian Stan? Isn't that Sebastian Stan where he's like a cannibal?
yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Directed by
It's a
Mimi
good,
Cave.
it's a good taste one.
Yeah.
When you said smell-
that's a taste one you're saying.
Yeah, it's not
mean,
really
you
a
got,
horror
like-
film, but when you said smell, I immediately thought of The Labyrinth and The Bog of Eternal Stench.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's a good one, too.
Well, the menu, there's a lot of foodie stuff in that.
The menu.
Yeah.
Sight, I would say Hush. No, that's hearing.
Earring, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, the
No, no, but
Well-
what is that? I was just watching that last night. That Irish horror film, where the sister is blind, and there's the creepy statue.
Oh, The Oddity?
Oddity, yes.
Oh, that movie's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Hoka.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's coming.
That trailer
Adam
is
Scott.
creepy.
I haven't seen the trailer
Oh.
yet.
Ooh, it's good.
Okay.
I'm down for another one of those, especially if it's got Adam Scott. That's it for Threads, by the way. I don't know about Feel, though.
That's a good
tough.
question.
Anything you see in D-Box, I think, right? Doesn't that qualify?
Yeah. Well, actually, would Poughkeepsie tapes with the Lunars count as Feel?
Poughkeepsie Tapes just keeps coming up
I
lately.
know.
You guys, you got
But part of their
telling me
thing
it's
was
time for a
squeeze the
rewatch.
balloons.
It's a great movie. Did the guy who made that ever do anything else?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or they were brothers. Wasn't that made by some brothers?
Yes, that's the one thing. Is the obnoxious like so and so brothers.
Stand by. I'll tell you in one more click. No, it's John Eric Dowdle is the
Yeah.
it
Oh, the
Dowdle
Dowdle brothers.
brothers?
That's the thing. Yeah.
yeah, but John Eric Dowdle's definitely done other. He did As Above So. Well, he was a writer on a bunch of other things. Let me see what else he directed.
I do love.
He
As
wrote
Above, So
Quarantine,
Below.
As Above So Below.
Devil.
Looks like
Did he direct Devil?
yes, and As Above So and Quarantine. Oh yeah, so that was a good role.
Huh.
Okay.
All right. Go
I remember that
Dowdle.
movie Devil. That movie Devil did not work. Let's call a spade a spade.
But it's when we
No,
learned
no,
that
it's
if the
not.
toast lands face down, the devil's there. Totally.
I don't.
So it
was
was
there a
actually-
toast storyline in
Do
that
you not
movie?
remember this? There's a whole thing about like the devil. If you drop toast and it lands face down, the devil is there.
The only thing that I remember is the elevator.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
apparently
An
in
elevator.
development on a Dr. Caligari movie.
Ooh.
Okay, sure.
I mean, that's got to be out of what's it called, copyright, right? So
I think so.
Yeah. How are you going to do that without Vincent Price, though?
I don't. Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
Caitlin from Kissimmee. Remember when the podcast was brutally honest in reviewing films and didn't care if it triggered listeners? Just pure unfiltered honesty. Am I not unfiltered honesty right now?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty honest.
Episode 192. So, John, this would have been, let's see, probably year 4, so probably 2011. The Devil Inside, the one that ends with a web link, FYI.
Oh, well, this is
Eric.
like the angriest I've ever been at a movie.
Eric,
so-
I love this movie. Well, not love. Well, I don't know why everyone hates this movie. It's amazing. I don't remember that.
Oh
I guess I liked it, John.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Apparently.
I'd love to hear some more quotes from myself from that one. All right, let's take a look at. Oh, you know what I want to talk about this week, John? Horror had quite the week at the Academy Awards.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I think that
Sinners.
Sinners winning all those awards is batshit crazy. Can I just say that? Can I risk the wrath of the internet to say that? Like, what? Sinners?
Look,
Frankenstein
it's a lot
won
of fun.
3, John.
Well, that's
What did
that was more
what
upsetting
did
to
Frankenstein win?
Makeup, production design, and I forget the
Costume.
third.
I
Costume,
didn't think
yeah.
the makeup was that good. The costume.
I didn't think.
the costume
production
and set
design was fun,
design was pretty good, but the Frankenstein makeup was like, I don't know.
Also, it should have been Ugly Stepsister. I'm like, I understand that I have
Rachel,
a
that
bias.
was what I said. If we're gonna give Sinners all those awards, where the hell is The Ugly Stepsister, which is a better horror film on every level?
It's not
I mean,
best
I'm
horror
not gonna
movies
fight
of
you.
the year though. Like, it's,
No, but it's better.
I don't know. I like Sinners. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jace
I
pointed.
was
It's the most
very-
nominated movie of all time. Like what?
Yeah, it is.
Listen, I'm very proud of our hometown hero. Ryan Coogler is from Oakland. I'm very proud of him. It's not my favorite movie, but I am getting joy out of the fact that it did win some things, and I'm very excited for the cinematographer, who is also a Bay Area
listen.
girly. So
I love
Yeah.
to see horror get all the love. It's just it's fascinating.
yeah.
Yeah, especially with the long history of the Academy
I feel like
snubbing
we
horror.
need to like retroactively give. Speaking of Toni Collette and Hereditary, I'd like to go back and retroactively give her that award that she deserved that year.
Yeah.
Is she
Dude, are you
nominated that
kidding
year?
me?
She wasn't nominated for her.
She wasn't even
No,
nominated.
she wasn't, and that's crazy.
She
It
should
One
have
was
of
been.
the best
performance of the
performances
year.
in horror history.
Yeah.
Oh, it is crazy.
Which, by the way, if you haven't seen that recently, I had only seen it once before. I rewatched it. I had like blocked. I had like for a movie about repression, it's very effective because I had repressed most of that movie. It is so much wilder and darker and more intense than I remembered at all.
Yeah,
So
it's a real dark.
I
shout
would
out
like
for
to.
a rewatch.
I would like to point out that Battletoads237 says, "I love the devil inside."
Hey, Battletoad.
Battletoads,
All
John.
right, Battletoads, get off
It's the most
Eric's,
infuriating
what?
game in the NES library.
Yes. So brutal. I was just doing some research and how did I land here? Oh, the guy who does Devil Inside is William Brent Bell. William Brent Bell. He also directed The Boy. He also directed Orphan 2. And did you guys know there's an Orphan 3 coming out?
Yes, I
this
did.
year?
No.
Well, I don't know if
Is
it's
it the
coming out
same-
this year,
I haven't
but-
seen Devil Inside, but I go up for all the rest of those.
Dude, the Orphan.
like the
movies,
Orphan 2.
I'm very pro Orphan.
Yeah.
Weren't we surprised that Orphan 2 was actually like a little bit better than the first one?
Yeah. It was really
I
fun.
didn't think it was better than the first one, but it's
It was fun. Is it going to be the same girl
What it was
in the
is it was
third
amazing
one?
that they pulled off a twist twice. That's
No,
what was
well, yeah,
amazing
totally.
about it.
Yeah.
Did
But
we
the-
see the second one? I don't remember seeing the
Yes,
second
yes,
one.
you loved it. It was yes, we had fun with that
Oh,
one.
that one starts out like in a spy facility or something.
Yeah, well, she's like
Yeah.
she's in like a, because what's her name? Is it Julia Stiles who's the mom?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I loved the. Okay, sorry. it's
Don't you
okay.
remember her like
You know.
smoking while she's like driving
Julia
down
Stiles
the
is
street?
amazing in that movie.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
it's a great movie. So Devil Inside, rough, but William Bell, excuse me. I'm gonna get his name right one of these
Fascinating.
days.
Okay.
Great.
I think
our
Jason's
friends,
with me on The Boy. Excellent taste.
the
Jace.
boy is amazing.
It is amazing.
The boy's so ridiculous.
I know, but that's part of what makes it so amazing. That is
we
it.
okay.
That
What's
is
We
the
have
name of the
reviewed.
boy? Brahms.
We have reviewed.
Brahms.
We have
Brahms.
reviewed over
Jared
eight.
Kushner.
We have reviewed over 800 movies on this show, and I will never forget how I felt during the reveal of The Boy. How goddamn pumped I was. That okay. When I was complaining about like Scream 7 not going the obvious route with the killer, like The Boy was a movie that did it right.
Yeah.
They sat down, they thought, what is the most insane way to end this goddamn movie? And they fucking did it.
Yep.
And I will respect the hell out of that movie forever because of that.
Yeah.
He came out of the wall, John.
And then he talked like
2
a
hours
baby and
into the
asked for a
movie?
kiss. It was so upsetting.
He just like crawls out of the wall.
the big old woolly beard behind the baby face, man.
He was sneaking out eating those sandwiches, John. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
That movie's
He's a hell of a
great.
Brahms. Great
Fucking
Brahms.
brilliant. Okay, our friend Zach says, how do we feel about ringtone jump scares? I thought it was pretty good.
Eh?
Based on that tone, I feel like you disagree, sir. But listen, I like a jump scare. I love a movie that feels like a ride. I'm not mad at any kind.
Yeah, you're in that D-box.
You know that's right.
What does crippling grief feel like in D-box, Rachel?
It has a melancholy rumble
It's just like a it's like a low steady rumble all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
with occasional hitch.
Schnecky91, I like this. What sound instantly sets you off?
I mean,
God.
somebody
got this.
chewing in a movie theater.
As a
would do
long
it.
time dog owner, I love dogs. They're lovely creatures. The sound of a dog licking its paws makes me want to go postal, especially when it like wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's like,
How loud is it? Is it that loud?
oh my God, John, they go to town. Like it's like their best day ever.
Yeah, I don't have a particular sound that sets me off, but this is part of why I keep talking about wanting to watch this movie with headphones on. I'm old enough, and I've Gen X, so I never believed in earplugs. I was a musician for a long time, listened to music too loud, so I've reached the point where I can't differentiate when there's too much sound going on. One sound from another. So like when my daughter likes to yap while I'm watching TV, it drives me nuts because I can't differentiate between her and the TV. So like this movie in the theater was challenging.
Okay, you know what's funny? So I continue to wear my AirPods during movies on the adaptive noise cancellation setting.
I need to try that.
And what's really brilliant about it is that it cuts off the really, really loud stuff because for whatever reason, this theater was cranked up way too loud. So it cuts off the loud stuff, but then when it's like low dialogue, it brings it up. But what I didn't realize was I didn't hear the gum popping. Until and then I could hear it. So it's like having a double. I think it's actually saving me from some of this bullshit happening around me without realizing it.
Well, it's doing the filtering.
It's funny because I have been using that. I have used that adaptive stuff with the AirPods before, but I haven't tried it in the theater. I'm gonna.
And I don't feel like I leave a movie like I can't, like I'm going deaf. You know what I mean? Because like movie theater systems these days are crazy.
Yeah.
Tell me.
All eating noises drive me instantly insane, but the worst of them all, the like coup de grace, cereal. Cereal is the worst because it combines crunching and wet noises.
Slurping.
Yeah.
I don't. Food noises don't bother me. I'm a
Doesn't bother
slurper
me either.
too, unfortunately.
Suzanne, my wife, can't like any eating. It's like drives her up the wall.
It's like instant, and it's like it's. I know it's irrational when it's happening because what
John,
I'm feeling is
it's all women
rage.
I know that have this problem. Are we the actual problem, John? Is this a man problem?
Gentle nudge. I do. I'll be honest. When people eat crazy, I'm like, oh, your parents.
I can't even eat quiet. I've tried. It's insane. Like I'm not physically capable of it.
I get very judgy. I'm like cursing your whole family line.
If I'm not slurping a drink, I'm not enjoying it.
Really?
Like it's the sound. It's more pleasurable.
Ooh.
Especially if it's hot. Forget about it.
I'm like getting a little anxious just having this conversation. Like the skin on my back is a little too small.
I'm trying to think of how you slurp a hot drink. You're just like taking it down, like
no slurp. It's slow.
I see. You're doing like the slow, like
yeah.
If I hear the workings of a throat, I'm ready to like
the workings of a throat.
I'm ready to slash it.
Oh my god.
I don't need that in my life.
No, that's fair. That's a fair point.
My son-in-law is sometimes eats with his mouth open, and I don't know if I like physically like hunch my shoulders up or something, but I was worried
Mouth
about it
open
at
is
first, so that I was gonna have to say something until my daughter looked at him and said, "You need to knock that shit off."
So you raised your daughter right.
Right. I'm like, oh, that's my girl.
That's funny. Yeah, that I couldn't handle. I'm with you on that. Renee says, "What is the scariest sound?"
Ooh, the scariest sound.
My cat's starting to throw up on the couch.
I mean, that will pull me out of like the deepest of slumber.
A tornado siren.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well, or like I don't know if you guys have ever had like a fire alarm go off in the middle of the night, like.
Yes, my
boy.
house alarm went like my so like my alarm system has the like little stick-on things, and apparently one of them got compromised, so it fell off in the night, and so then the whole thing went off, and that's I probably shouldn't say this on the internet. Never mind. But yes, it was very scary when that happened.
Yeah, or like a carbon monoxide one. I had one of those go off in the night, but it was just because there was some stuff in front of the vent that it was in.
I'm trying to think what the scariest sound is.
Yeah.
I think the thing that freaks me out is like quiet, whispery voices. That's like,
or like claw scratching, like that you can't like quiet claw scratching when it's dark.
I've lived in an apartment where things were in the walls, John. So waking up to that sound.
We had a critter
unpleasant.
we had a critter in the attic once, and I was out watching movies late at night by myself, and then I heard it scurry over to the garage, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Got up, locked the front door just so the raccoon couldn't get in.
Did you see Renee on the chat?
Scariest sound is a large man farting in a movie theater. It's true. It was a loud fart.
Having been that large man before, sometimes you can't help it.
Was there a little part of you that was a little impressed though?
He did
Like,
this on
be
purpose,
honest.
though. This was just part of the show.
Oh.
This was like, these are boorish people that need to just like aggressively take up space.
But I mean, like, I don't care about sports, but sometimes I'll see someone do a play and it's like so obviously athletic and a feat that I'm like impressed.
I wasn't impressed, but it made me laugh. Like I'm not above laughing at it.
If you ask Colleen what the scariest sound or the worst sound is, it's probably me chewing gum.
Well, yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah, sounds bad.
All right, guys. Next week, Ready or Not 2.
Oh, is
I
that
saw
next
the
week?
trailer. And I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like they're really stretching for the story here. However, I love all the people in it, and I'm pretty excited for it. But I do wonder how far this promise is going to go. I guess we're going to find out
Yeah.
next week.
I'll give them a chance to do something different. I bet you they'll surprise us.
I love the cast. Love the crew. Let's see what they got. All right, guys. That's going to do it for Undertone. See you next week.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.